Hi, this is Kathy Goodwin, and today we're going to talk about a new way to stand out in your job search using SlideShare. So what is SlideShare? Well, SlideShare is a relatively new social medium. It's a way to connect like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn. It allows you to upload and share visual files. You don't have to use PowerPoint, although it's easier with PowerPoint. I have, in fact, several PowerPoints, including a show of this presentation, a presentation up on SlideShare. PowerPoint, PDF, Word, or Excel, possibly others by the time you're reading this. And other people will see your presentation and they'll get to know you. They'll be inspired to inquire further. So why SlideShare? Well, people are more visual these days. We pay more attention to images. It used to be you'd have whole books, especially textbooks, without a single picture. And now we're seeing more and more emphasis on pictures. If you look around the internet, almost every website has a lot more pictures than it did even a few years ago. And also you will stand out from the competition. Most job seekers are not using this tool. And if you do, you will stand out because you'll not only be different, you'll be different in a good and productive way. You'll gain more visibility because SlideShare gets attention. I have several presentations on SlideShare and I get a number of likes and queries from those. It's a lot less intrusive than video. Video is another good way. I mean, I would certainly encourage you to make a video like this that's a screen capture video or a video of yourself if you can get it done really well. But if you think about this, if you're an executive and you're looking at resumes or you're considering someone to hire, even if you're fairly senior, you're probably sitting in a cubicle, not a private office. That means that the sound will create an impact on those around you. It's why a lot of people tell me that they don't want videos. They want my emails to have all the information because they don't want to watch a video during a workday. They can't, even if they want to. It's also, when you watch a video, you are really into that video. You can't interrupt. You have to make a point of going back if you want to see something again. Things go by quickly. You can use the pause button to look at something more closely, but on the SlideShare, you see the slides in your own time frame. You see them at your own speed, and if you want to take time to look at something in more depth, it's no big deal. So what do you put on these slides? Well, I would recommend having a way to introduce yourself on just a few high points. Use information from your resume, one item per slide. And I'll give you an example in just a moment. It is okay to use smaller fonts than in a live presentation. You know, in most live presentations, we're told to use, 60-point type and make sure you can read it from the back of the room, but people are not going to be reading this from the back of a room. They'll be reading it on their screen, and if you set things up so it's visually appealing, they will look at small type. Here's an example of what you might put on a slide. Designed a training seminar for sales reps to showcase a product that lagged in sales. Sales of that product increased by 300% within 1 year. That's the kind of item that would be in it could be in exactly this form on your resume, but you take just one item like this and put it on one slide, and you might have 3 or 4 or even 5 or 6 items like this. You have to think of the total impact. If you keep having great event, you have to make sure it comes across as plausible and as an interesting story that people can follow. Add a tasteful graphic. I would encourage you to avoid stock photos of people. They tend to look a little cheesy. You're better off using your own photos or abstract images or something that doesn't scream stock. Besides, you don't know if that image is going to remind the viewer of someone they knew, and people see them over and over again. It's just not a good idea. You can use quality stock photos. You can buy some from iStock Photo. You can also take your own photos or even use some from ClipArt, which is not a really phenomenal stock photo place, but you can modify them if you know Photoshop, or you can use, as I mentioned here, you can use Fiverr.com to polish up your graphics. Fiverr, which is spelled like this, is a place where you can order all kinds of small tasks for $5 and sometimes $10 or $15. So it's a very good place if your graphics are not what they should be and you want to make them extra special. It's especially important if you have something like a resume that's a really critical document, rather than some things you send out all the time, because people get to know you after a while. You can kind of be more relaxed. But for something like a resume, you want your images to be really good. So what else could you include? Well, contact information. You don't want to forget that. I'd recommend putting that at the end. And also, you might even want to put something in the corner of each slide the way I'm doing here. I'm doing this because you never know where these slides are going to appear. And people on SlideShare can download presentations if you give them permission, and I would certainly do that. And if they want to, but I just want, if someone wants to use my slide, they're more than welcome. I just would like the credit. Although I'll tell you, I don't get too paranoid about the internet because I just assume things will be used and they'll be out of date by the time someone gets around to copying me. So I'm not concerned. You want to put your relevant education and training on slides. If you really have relevant education, such as an MBA from a top school, if it's relevant to your position. After you've been out of school for 5 or more years, your education does become a lot less important, and it might not be the thing you want to highlight on your slides. It certainly would not be at the top of your resume. Certifications, if they're relevant to your field. Remember that nowadays when you apply for a job or a position, or maybe you're applying for multiple positions, each job has to be applied for. Let's see, that's grammar wasn't quite right, but when you apply for any job, everything that you send should be tailored to that job. That means that your resume, the things you put on your resume, like the things you put in your SlideShare, should all be directed to that one job. So if you have education that is not relevant, maybe you have an MBA and you've got a business undergrad and you picked up a MFA along the way, if you put that on your resume, that's okay, but you may not want to highlight it, and you may want to sort of show how it contributes to your overall skills. Awards, absolutely front and center. So where do you use the slides? This is the key. I would recommend uploading your presentation to slideshare.net. It's very easy to get a free account. There are paid and pro accounts, but the vast majority of us do not need them. Plan for your keywords that you're going to use and have a description ready to upload with your keywords in that description. Add to your LinkedIn profile. It's not that hard to do. I'm not going to give directions because it changes all the time, but if you Google add SlideShare to LinkedIn, you'll get lots of directions. It's very simple. You can also add a link to your SlideShare presentation as a widget on your blog. Some people recommend that job seekers and career changers keep a blog. If you do, it's a good way to demonstrate your knowledge, to let people know that you're up and current in your field. If you do keep a blog, make sure you update it frequently. There's really nothing worse than a dead-looking blog that hasn't been updated, or something that has dull, uninformative content. Tweet and post your SlideShare presentation. Get it out there. Let people know. And see, the advantage of having something in SlideShare is it's very easy to post. You send a link and you send it to SlideShare, which gives you double whammy. First, people get to see your slides. They see a visual presentation that interrupts their busy day of looking at text, and they know that you've got the savvy to find out about SlideShare. So, double whammy. Add to Pinterest. Pinterest is great. It gets traffic. It's also a link back to wherever you are. Be sure to put a URL to your post or your online resume or your LinkedIn profile in the Pinterest description. That will help and give you another link back. If you need more help from any aspect of your job search or career change, I'm available. You can go to any of these places. midlifecareerstrategy.com. You can sign up for my free report, which will put you on my list. You'll get all kinds of great information. If you go to my services page, you'll find out some of the ways that we can work together. And I also have a job search book that you can buy at this link here. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining me on this presentation. I look forward to seeing you on a future video and possibly a one-to-one consultation. Have a great day, and I want to wish you the best of success in your job search or whatever your career goal may be.